Hello and welcome to your Maths Transition lesson from Corby Business Academy. My name is Mr. Patel and I'm a maths teacher at Corby Business Academy. We are very much looking forward to meeting you. And today what I'd like you to do is have a go at some maths and hopefully have a think about how this links to other subjects. Okay, now at various points during this presentation, I'm going to ask you to pause the presentation, have a go at some work, and then I'll give you some answers and then we'll carry on. Now, some of you may need to pause for just a short period of time. Some of you may need to pause the presentation for a bit longer, but that's entirely up to you. So the first thing that I'd like you to do is have a look at these questions here. Now, one of the big things that we think about at Corby Business Academy is this idea of key skills. Skills that we think are really important when we are doing maths that help us in all different areas of maths. So what I'd like you to do is have a go at the questions, but start from the column that says novice. Complete those questions, then move on to the column that says semi-pro, and then world class. So if you could pause there and have a go at those questions. Have a go at those questions there as well. Again, start from the first column, work your way to the right, pause the presentation, and I will give you some answers in a moment. Okay, please check your answers against the ones that are on the screen now. Just while we're talking about key skills, you will see these key skills in lots of different places in not just maths, but lots of other areas. And we make a point of practicing them lots and lots at Corby Business Academy. So you'll see stuff like this very regularly. Okay, now we're going to do some maths and we're going to try and link it to a play that was written by somebody called Shakespeare, which I'm sure you've all heard of. But the play is called Hamlet. You're going to have a go today at solving a bit of a mystery. So, old King Hamlet of Denmark has been murdered. The country is overcome with grief, as are members of his family. Prince Hamlet, his son, Gertrude, his widow, and Claudius, his brother. The Danish police have been investigating, but have so far found no leads. In the next hour or so, you'll be joining the Danish police force to help solve this mystery. To solve the mystery, you must crack the code. Code 1. Where was the crime committed? If you notice here, you've got a table with some letters in there, and then you've got a sentence at the bottom. But the sentence has been jumbled up. Your job is to take each letter, find it in the row that says code text, and then find the real letter. You will get a message. So pause the presentation. When you're done, I'll give you some answers. So if you crack that code, it should have said good luck with your first code. And your clue is answered, so the crime was committed in the royal bedchamber. Code 2. When was the crime committed? So similar to the first one, you've got a sentence there that's jumbled up. Your job is to find each letter in the table above in the row that says code text, and then replace each of those letters with the real letter and then find the message. Pause and have a go at that. We are running out of time. Answer 2. The crime occurred at 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. Code 3. How did the murder happen? So, slightly different code for you to crack here. You've got a table of letters there and some numbers under each letter. So for example, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and so on. You've got underneath that pairs of numbers, 1 and 15, 2 and 3, 6 and 9, and so on. Your job is to add the pairs of numbers to find the correct letter in the alphabet. So the first pair of numbers are 1 and 15, add to 16. So we find 16 in the table and read that that says P. So we put a P there for the first letter. Continue to get the next clue. Pause the video there. Poor old King Hamlet. King Hamlet was murdered by being poisoned in his ear. Code 4. What was the motive? Why did it happen? So you've got lots of letters there, all jumbled up. Your job is just to pick out and write down every third letter. So first letter is A, second letter is C, third letter is K. So I would write K down. Next letter is V, then F, then the next letter is E. So I'd write E down. Pause the presentation just there. Keep up the great detective work. The reason that King Hamlet was killed was that the killer wanted to become King of Denmark. Code 5. Who was the murderer? Okay, you've got there 4 diagrams at the top there with letters in there. Now underneath that you've got a set of symbols that helps us to work out what each letter should be. So look at this first symbol here. Now notice that I've got a line going down and a line going to the right. So if I look at these 4 diagrams at the top, the closest is this part of the first diagram here. So that would give me an I. Look at the next one and I've got a symbol where the line goes to the right and then up, and the closest is A. So I would write down A. And then you'd continue. So pause the video just there, have a go at solving that one. I am a code breaker. So the murderer was the king's brother, Claudius. Congratulations, well done. You've been fantastic detectives and have helped the Danish police solve the crime and catch the killer. It turns out that Claudius killed King Hamlet so he could become king and marry Gertrude. So, very quickly, have a go at deciphering these anagrams. So, each of those 3 sentences there has each word in the correct place in the sentence, but the letters have been jumbled up. So pause the video there and have a go at deciphering those. So thank you for coming to CBA or Corby Business Academy, and when I say coming I mean taking part in this session. I do hope to see you again next year and I'm very much looking forward to it. And you are now an expert code breaker. Well done. One final thing to leave you with. Can you work out what that says? William Shakespeare. So I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you have a good break, and I look forward to meeting you and teaching you after the summer holidays. Thank you very much.